it's near impossible to prove a claim of objectivity whenever you're like analyzing art.
Why not?
So I think you'd be like, why?
Why?
Okay, because the interpretation of art is first of all subjective, right?
Not necessarily.
Yes, it would be. Interpretation is inherently subjective.
Not necessarily.
No.
That depends on who the interpreter is.
Interpret something in an objective way. Please do.
Okay, you understand that certain beings can interpret things in objective ways, like necessary beings, right? You know what a necessary being
That's
is?
a circular claim.
You're not a
That argument is inherently circular.
How is it circular?
Because I asked you to prove something, and you told me that it was the case. That's inherently circular.
I was giving you an example. I was giving you an example of certain things
Which
that can have.
presupposes that it's true.
Hold on.
Which is circular.
Hold on. Do you want me to explain why necessary beings can have objective interpretations?
Okay, prove that necessary beings exist.
Prove necessary beings exist?
Yeah.
Okay, do you understand how the principle of sufficient reasoning works? PSR?
Just use murder ontology.
No, go for it.
Okay, so facts require an explanation. Do you understand? Do you agree to that? If I say this book exists, I would need some explanation to prove that claim exists, right? I would need some
I function under the postmodernist ideal of truth, so obviously I would disagree with that.
You would disagree with it?
Yeah, that facts take reasoning.
Basically, I'll give you an example. So if I make the statement, this book exists, right? There needs to be some justification to that statement for it to be true.
I mean, yes, but I think that truth is subjective.
Okay, but you agree. Well, yeah, because we can talk about contingencies and necessities. But basically, that's the baseline to the principle of sufficient reasoning, right? And so, the sum of all contingent facts would also require an explanation. If this explanation is contingent, then this is just circular nonsense. So, this explanation must be necessary. So, if we take that contingent facts exist, and that all contingent facts...
What is a contingent fact?
A contingent fact would just be something that could have been wrong, like this book existing. This book couldn't have existed in another possible world, right? So that's an example of a contingent fact.
Okay.
So if we, the fact that all contingent facts are true within some possible world in itself is a contingent fact. Now this requires an explanation. Now an explanation can either be necessary or contingent. If it's contingent, then that's circular, as I just said. So it must be necessary. So this necessary fact or being must exist by virtue of there being contingent facts that exist. And contingent facts are demonstrable. So necessary beings exist.
Necessary ideas or necessary facts exist.
Yeah.
Well, why does that mean that necessary beings exist?
I'm using being and fact and idea as tautological.
Why are they all the same?
That's just the way I'm using it. That's it. That's just it. I could go into why this necessary fact would have to have the attribute of personhood if you want.
Yeah, I don't understand why that would be the case whatsoever.
Okay, so you understand why determinism doesn't entail necessitarianism, right?
No, I don't.
Okay, so do you disagree or agree with determinism?
I don't even have a full understanding of it.
Okay, the idea we don't have free will and every single thing that exists in our reality is determined by prior causes.
I think that free will can go hand in hand with prior causes leading to conclusions.
That's contradictory, because free.
I don't believe so.
Oh, free will. Okay, so let's say I have red shoes and blue shoes, and I go to school and I wear the red shoes. Now the cause for me wearing the red shoes exists, and could that cause lead to a different effect? Could the same cause lead to a different effect?
You're asking me a question that obviously I'm going to answer yes to, because I've just stated that before. I believe that causes bring us to the decision, not to the conclusion.
Well, I'm trying to just posit a reductio ad absurdum argument. That's what I'm trying to do here. That's why I'm asking you this question. Because
okay, where's the issue with the absurdity, right? Because reductio ad absurdum only makes sense if you can say, okay, this is the absurdity cannot be true.
Yeah, I'm trying to point out that if I have a cause that leads to an effect, and we keep that same cause, it can't lead to a different effect. That's the absurdity in the belief of...
Well, I don't think it's as simple as cause and effect. Like, I don't think that the cause leads to the conclusion. I rather think it leads to the decision, right?
Wouldn't the decision also be... leads to... Well, that just presupposes free will, which doesn't... Yeah, if it says it leads
both of our arguments are equally circular.
No.
You're claiming that this is the case. I'm saying I disagree. I believe this is the case instead.
Okay, so do you think...
You haven't explained as to why going to school means that I have to wear red shoes. Okay. I'm saying I'm going to school, therefore I have to make the decision.
No, here's what I'm saying here. I have red shoes or blue shoes. There is a decision. Now there is a cause for me choosing the red shoes. Now if we keep that cause, right, could that singular cause create a different effect of me wearing the red shoes?
I mean, possibly. I believe so.
Why?
If you're saying that this, like, the idea that the cause is what led me to choose the red shoes is only inherent if you make that the axiom. Well, that's the issue.
Well, there needs to be a cause.
No, there needs to be a cause for your line of logic to be so.
Well, do you think it's possible to have an effect without a cause?
I think something can cause you to the decision making, right? And then as proxy of like, I choose this is therefore the effect. So I believe that it is the case that effects take causes, right?
See, that just...
But I don't think that you can say that there's this like infinite trickle down of this was predetermined via these like conditions or preconditions being the case.
All right. Do you agree that every action we take is either you want to do it or you're forced to do it? Would you agree to
that? I'd assume so. I can't think of any way, like, any action taken outside of it. It's either like or you must do something, or you want to do something, right? Okay. And if you don't want to do it, you most likely wouldn't do it.
Okay. So if I want to do something and I do it, is that free will?
You have the want. You're enacting on the want.
Okay.
I don't see how this is in any way forced, so I would say that it is free will.
Okay, well, what determinism says that our desires are what ultimately determine our actions, but I can't choose to want something. So if I'm put in...
Yes, I see desires as an extension of free will.
Okay, well, if I put myself in a dilemma, chocolate or vanilla, right? And I want vanilla. Can I choose to want something else? No, the desires are determined by external causes to our...
I mean, I think that's like a blatant either-or fallacy.
Hold on, but listen. If free will is our ability...
do you agree that you, like, artificially engineered a scenario in which one or the other must be the case? Whenever there's, like, a million other things? Like, you could choose to not eat, right?
Sure. That's also okay. That's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so then it's not analogous.
It is analogous because what I'm trying to demonstrate is that if I have a desire, if I have a want, right? If I were truly free, I should be able to choose or influence my desires and not just simply act upon which desire is the strongest.
I disagree. Okay. You can also, like, withstand from your desires or suppress them, right?
If you withstand your desire, right? Like, let's say, or this will be a kind of a weird example. I go to the gym every day, even though I hate going to the gym. Even though I hate going to the gym, I desire the end goal of going to the gym. So if I just withhold or suppress my desires...
So then are you trying to say, seeing as your desires contradict themselves, you're still acting on desire?
No, you just act upon whichever one is the strongest.
I don't believe that you have to, right? I think you can make logical decision making outside of your desires, right? Even if you desire to stay in bed more than you desire to go to the gym, right? You may still find yourself at the gym. Yes. And in fact, I think it was it Plato or Aristotle who says that people who can function outside of their desires, right, are the most people. They're like his three, fuck. Oh, shit. There's like the three ways, or the three, hearts or brains of the human, right? Like the lustful, and like sinful, right? And then there's the desire, right? You functioning with your desire. And then there's the, like, then there's the intelligent. And he claimed that, like, people who, like, made educated decisions outside of their desires, right, and resisted these desires, were the most human of all.
So my hero's still mid.
Sorry, that just sounded like an appeal to authority fallacy. This is what that sounded like.
No, okay. Do you want me to describe an appeal to authority for you?
Are you gonna say?
I didn't say that he's correct by proxy of being Plato or Aristotle, right?
What was your point?
I'm just saying this is the argument, right? And therefore, I believe that it can be the case.
Okay, so you're saying people who resist their desires are ultimately truly free? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, more so. By proxy of not being, like, forced to function under them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying here is that
not truly free, right? Just like less animalistic.
There is really no demonstrable way of demonstrating that one can act out of accord with their desires. It would just be, I have a stronger desire, so I will act in this way. So if I have a...
Well, I mean, if you want to go into the burden of proof and how it would function, it would have been your burden in the first place to say that all decisions would be either through desire or through necessity.
Well, you agreed that
yes. I agreed at the time, and then I disagreed.
Well,
I even gave my agreement with the caveat that I may think of something else.
Okay.
Or may think of avenues in which it is not the case.
Well, then why do you... Hold on. What is your specific contention with the idea that all of my actions are desire-based?
I believe that people can resist their desires.
Okay,
and make actions not out of necessity, right? Because you don't need to go to the gym. We agree to this. Mm-hmm. No one, like, physically needs to go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
You can just, like, it's not like a function that if you don't have it, you're just gonna die, right?
Yeah.
So no one needs to go to the gym.
Okay.
But I may have, like, this intense desire to not go to the gym and still find myself there, right?
Okay.
So I believe, and I personally have experienced situations such, right? So therefore, I believe that, like, not all of my decision making is based on desire or necessity.
Yeah, see that whole argument, right? Saying I had a strong desire not to go to the gym, but I still find myself at the gym, doesn't demonstrate you're acting out of accord with your desires. Because you could have a desire for the end result of going to the gym, not specifically being there. Right? So that's the whole point I was trying to get at. And this determinism point is just to lead into something about how it doesn't entail necessitarianism. Right? And this is because, do you think the universe is infinite or finite?
It is finite.
Okay, if the universe is finite, then whatever the first cause is, right? So that means possible worlds, right? You understand how possible worlds work. It's basically things that
infinite possible worlds, yeah,
could have happened in the actual world. So if we take a regression of causes to the first cause could have been different, creating a different possible world. And since the first
are you trying to claim that, like, since it's, like, nearly impossible, then we've gotten to this point that it must be that there was, like, some cause?
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that the fact that since the universe is finite, that means there